I've always believed that the spring market was created by realtors because that's when they became desperate for money to pay their taxes. So I've had a lot of conversations with buyers over the last several months and weeks, late 2023, early 2024, as they've been on the sidelines waiting to see what's going to happen in the housing market. There's been a lot of uncertainty. Interest rates have been high, frankly, pulled back a little bit. And I think that's okay. I think a lot of agents have been forcing buyers to make some bad decisions over the second half of last year. Don't get me wrong. I still had buyers buy homes, but they made some great purchases. They were able to negotiate some really good prices on some of these properties. But in a lot of cases, I think buyers were just waiting. The three questions that they have right now are prices going to drop? Will the market crash? And will I lose money if I buy now? I think they're really concerned about those three things. So I want to answer each one of those questions one at a time. Number one, will prices drop? In my opinion, the answer is no. All of the national statistics, statewide, metro-wide statistics are leaning towards home appreciation somewhere nationally in the 3 to 5% range and somewhere locally in the 2 to 4% range. So we'll just call it 3% appreciation that we're forecasting for 2024. Number two, will the market crash? I've got some pretty deep scars from 2008 when the market did crash. So there were times I felt like maybe it was going to, and I've had conversations with my family, with my friends, with my clients around this very topic. And it felt like it for a while there that we saw in some markets, homes were going up 30% a year. And it was just not sustainable. We all knew that was happening. So we're seeing nationally some markets prices softening a little bit, but we're not seeing a crash happening really in any markets. Now, some states is seeing a little bit more of an aggressive price correction, whereas in our state, we are seeing a slight price correction or maybe more of just a realization that we're just not in that COVID market anymore. So it's not a crash, but it's just a softening in appreciation. It's more so a softening in what buyers are willing to pay for a home. Today, they're paying 98% of asking price versus 103% of asking price a year ago. I don't believe the market will crash. I just believe we're going to start to normalize a little bit as we get over the next 12 months. Third, will I lose money if I buy now? That's the $1 million crystal ball question. My crystal ball broke in 2008. So I don't know if somebody will lose money. They say there's a statistic that came out that the average homeowner will improve his or her net worth around $73,000 over the next 3 years based on purchasing a home in 2024. So they're predicting that you're not going to lose money. In fact, you'll become more wealthy by purchasing a home now. I always believe that purchasing and owning, for the most part, is better than renting. And it's the best way to create wealth. But what goes up must come down. And someday these prices will soften, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. I just don't see us continuing to appreciate. We have to have something has to give. Okay, the average home price right now in the Twin Cities metro is around $430,000. The average interest rate is around 6.5 to 6.75. And I won't get into what the average income is, but it's not enough to support the interest rate and the home value. Okay, so either incomes have to go way up, home prices are going to have to start to soften, or interest rates are going to have to come down. So one of those three things will have to happen over the next 5 years, in my opinion, or potentially could lose money on that purchase if you purchase now. But I believe that of the three things, I think that home values are probably the last thing that's going to soften. I think interest rates will come down before home values come down, and I think average wages will go up before home values go down. I have no problem telling my buyers, and I had no problem telling my buyers in the last 6 months to just wait, be patient. We don't need to purchase something right now unless it's an incredible opportunity or you have to have a home. And I had clients that were going through divorces or being relocated, whatever it might be. It's okay to be patient. It's okay to wait. Better opportunities will come up, and you just got to believe that and what's meant to be will be for you as a buyer. I've always believed that the spring market was created by realtors because that's when they became desperate for money to pay their taxes. That's my belief, and you can believe it or not, but if you just watch, I've been doing this 25 years, if you watch the cycles in the real estate industry, things get really quiet around November, December, January, February. People aren't working. They're not doing what they should do. They're not doing those consistent daily activities to keep their business where it should be. And then they come back from their CPA meeting in March and realize they owe a lot of money to the IRS from last year's income. Now they got to hurry up and start selling stuff. So I believe that that's what has created the spring market. So I don't think there's a bad time to buy or sell a home. I think the best time to buy or sell a home is when you're ready. But for whatever reason, the real estate industry has said we've got this spring market and that's the best time to buy or sell a home. And I don't necessarily believe it. We also go into that summer slump, right? I think the summer slump was created by the agents because they got exhausted from the spring market and trying to pay their income taxes. And now they need a break. So now they're taking some time back and now the summer slump is there. So I think the peaks and valleys in the real estate industry that the consumer sees is driven by the realtor. So partnering with a strong agent right now, partnering with a very strong lender right now, there's a lot of ways to write purchase agreements right now that you can get your closing costs paid for, your monthly payment down. There's a lot of different ways that we can maneuver through the process to make sure we save you some money. And there's some opportunities to negotiate on properties that are overpriced and that are going to sit there for the next 30 to 60 days because sellers still think that we're in a COVID market or the 2021 or 2022 market. So buyers get pre-approved, work with a good realtor, be patient, and be ready. So when that opportunity does present itself, you have all of your T's crossed and I's dotted, and you know exactly where you're at. So when you've got to make that decision at the 11th hour as to whether or not you're going to offer $20,000 over asking price or not, you're prepared and you know mentally where that's going to put you financially. So I think being prepared is really important as we enter into maybe more of a competitive marketplace. This year, I do see rates continuing to improve. I think as we get closer and closer to the 2024 election in November, we'll see interest rates, at least they're predicted to be somewhere in the fives. They believe that buyers will come back out, transactions will go up, home prices will continue to slightly appreciate in that 2 to 3% range, but there will be opportunities for buyers as we see the market continue to improve and we see more inventory hit the market. So if you're thinking of buying, now's a great time to get prepared. It's a great time to have a good confidential conversation with somebody like myself. If I can help in any way, if you're looking to buy this year, don't hesitate to reach out.